Hey there, fellow classic comic collectors. As always, I'm Scott Harris King, and in this episode, we've got more new comics coming in. Now, I've got the big batches of comics that I was expecting, the big orders at the time that I'm recording this. I've gotten in my big order from my comic shop, which I showed in the last video, and before that, I got in the big pack with the Grail book in it, so I've showed that as well. Right now, at the time I'm recording this, I only have a few little purchases trickling in, but I know that by the time I finish recording this, I will have bought some stuff that right now is still in my future. So I have no idea right now while I'm filming this what the end of this video is going to be or what cool things I might have, so that's kind of neat. I'm also not entirely sure what's in this package. I've only got a couple things coming, so there's not many different options, but I don't know which one this is. So I've cracked the package open. We're going to pull these out now, and we're going to see what's inside. Looks like there's 2 comics and just a piece of cardboard. So first out of the box, it's Love and Romance number 20. This is a cool cover. I think I already have a copy of this, and this was basically part of a 2-issue lot, and the other one was the one I was buying. I think I already have this, but it's a really cool cover. I've always loved the yellow covers and just having, the art inside the outline of the girl's head. Kind of reminds me of stuff like that Detective Comics cover by Dick Giordano, where it's Batman's face in profile, and you see like this retelling his origin. So this is a cool book. This is one of the later titles, so it's a shorter run. And then the other one is This is the one. This is the one I was trying to get. It's Love and Romance number 22. Let me just hold that up for you here. Take a look at it. It's got some creasing down here. It's a nice mid-grade copy. Looks like it's probably a 5.5 maybe. But the reason I got this is, there's been a trend recently, sort of, I don't say recently, but, taking some of these old covers and sort of putting like a modern spin, sort of like a satirical dialogue and stuff. This is one of the very few covers where I think they were doing that at the time. Here we have the guy is carrying the woman sweeping off her feet, but her thought balloon says, let me read this for you. I've heard of how easy it is to fall in love after you break up with someone else. But this is ridiculous. I just thought this balloon was really funny, with the character commenting on how goofy the romance story is. So it's also, it's just a cool cover by, I think it's Art Capello. Yeah, it's Art Capello. I really like his style from around this period. So yeah, it's just, I thought it was a funny cover, so I bought this. And the other issue is just kind of a fun throw-in. It might be an upgrade from the one I already have, though. Although, it looks like there's a cut or something on the cover, so maybe not. I'll have to look at it later. But that's it. I do have a couple more cool things coming, and then who knows? By the time this video is over, it's going to be filled with stuff that I can't even imagine right now. So let's see what comes tomorrow. Hey there, another day, another little update. I've got one book in today. I've actually opened it already because I didn't realize that it was coming as a digest size. So I got a package and I was like, what the heck is this? Yeah, it was a digest. I guess I should have realized it since it's called Walt Disney Comics Digest. But for some reason, I didn't realize this was going to be digest size. So I popped it open. And yeah, I paid not that much money for this, a few dollars. And the reason I got it is I don't really generally collect Disney comics, but I'm a huge fan of Disney theme parks. So I started thinking about getting comics that involve the theme parks. And specifically what I want is comics that are actually set at the parks, where the characters are going around to the different attractions and stuff. There's a bunch of Disneyland comics from the 50s and 60s where the park acts as a frame story for a bunch of reprints and stuff of different old Disney comics, and that's okay, but I really want to see all the rides and stuff. This is the only Disney comic, as far as I'm aware, where it's specifically set at Walt Disney World in Florida, which is my park. That's where my family always used to go on vacation, so that's sort of my favorite Disney theme park. So I wanted to get a hold of this. I've taken a quick look through it, and there's, again, some of the stories, they just take the rides as a jumping on point for some wacky adventure that doesn't really have anything to do with the parks. But there does seem to be a lot more park stuff in here than in the other issues that I have. I have a couple of the Disneyland ones where there's really very little Disney content. This seems to have a lot more of the park in it. So I'm excited to read this, share this with a couple of my Disney theme park friends, and yeah, so happy to have this. Did not know it was a digest. So that's it for today, and we'll see what comes tomorrow. Okay, we got another day. We got another couple of packages here. One of them, I think I know what it is. The other one, actually, I'm not sure. Obviously, I bought something. I'm guessing it's probably romance related. Don't remember. So we're going to find out together. First, we're going to go with this package here. Because of the nature of what I think this is, I had to be very careful with opening it. It came sandwiched in the cardboard, great, and inside this bag here, but there's another bag inside there that I don't want to cut. I do want to show that this outer bag has what appears to be human blood on it. So that's not really optimal. Again, I suggest if you're going to send someone a package on eBay not to bleed all over it, because that's kind of gross. But what's inside hopefully doesn't have any blood on it. And it is the Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom Unopened 3-pack. I did a whole video recently that was about my collection of these unopened bags, and so I went on to eBay to see what was available. I inspired myself to do a little bit of looking, and there's a lot of really cool ones. There's a guy, I think up in Canada maybe, who has just like tons of awesome ones, but they're super expensive. This one, however, was only $15. That includes shipping. I think the blood was a free throw-in. So that was cool. Temple of Doom came out in 1984 when I was 11 years old. I didn't see it in the theater. It was a little too mature, I think my parents thought, for me to see. But I did read the novelization, so it held like a big place in my imagination. I had like the trading cards and the novelization and all sorts of things. I don't think I ever actually read the comic, because this was right around when I was getting into comics. But so here it is, just a cool bit of pop culture. And I'm going to carefully dispose of this forensic evidence. Package number 2, hopefully there's no like human body waste in this one. I don't know what this is, but it came packed really well. There was a big cardboard envelope, and inside was a padded envelope, and inside that was another cardboard mailing envelope. It feels like there's comics in here, but maybe there's just like 15 tiny envelopes until we get all the way down to the last envelope. So here we are. I'm just gonna rip that off, and it's comics. Oh, it's a lot of romance comics. They smell musty. There's a specific reason I bought this lot, but I don't remember what it is. I will say that the cover on top is an all-time classic. It's Summer of Love number 48. I already have a copy, but it's the Swingers cover, where this bare-chested dude with a mustache is yanking on this woman's ponytail. It's it's a classic late 60s cover. I do have a copy already. My copy's not great. Neither is this one. They're about the same, so I'll have to compare them later. More Charlton's coming out. Hollywood Romances 48. I think there's some specific comic in here that I wanted, and I don't know what it is. Oh, I see some DC coming up here. Teen Confessions 42. common theme on some of these issues, these older romance, are students having affairs with their teachers. That's a no-no. That's a no-no. You remember we had that Charlton one earlier where the doctor was slapping his patient around and then making out with her. This is also a no-no. I fell in love with Ken Hurley, my English instructor. Don't do that. These have a very musty smell. Falling in Love 87. A lot of spine roll. Very musty. I'm going to put these in bags right away. They're not nearly as bad as that one terrible issue, but I can smell them. Girls' Love Stories number 120. I like this era of the logo. Go-Go checks. Girls' Romance is 135. I think this lot was just really cheap, and I needed these DC books, so the Charltons were kind of throw-ins for me. Just Married number 49. This is cool. First of all, it's got a person's name on it, and the person's name is Chris. I don't know if it's a male or female Chris, but I like it getting romance comics, A, with names on them, but B, if there's a dude's name on them. I particularly appreciate it. This one has some parents yelling at this girl, and I really like what they're saying. Don't marry Carl, Sheila. He'll make you miserable. But then the mom is saying his way of life is wrong and sinful. Can't wait to see how sinful his life actually is. It's Time for Love, number 53. A story of frantic, frenzied females. It's a woman who falls in love with the Herman's Hermits. Secrets of Love and Marriage. It's a 10 center. Looks like this might have a... it's issue 21. October 1960. Looks like a Coletta cover. This one has a lot of water damage, but it also has a name on it. Mary Jane Sickler. This is probably where the must is coming from. And Romantic Story 97. Never Love a Sailor Man. The tragic story of Popeye. I'm hoping that this actually has a Vietnam story in it. It's from November 68. It's a guy joining the Navy. So I'm hoping that there's a Vietnam story. It looks like there might be. So that's exciting. That's actually a big bonus for me with this lot. So yeah, this is exciting. I don't remember buying these. So that's just the pandemic eBay haze that I'm in right now. Again, they're pretty musty. They're not nearly as bad as that other one. I don't need to put them in another room. I do need to bag them up right away because I don't want to be inhaling this must while I'm working. So I'm just going to pop the window open, bag those up, and pretty exciting. I'm guessing I probably didn't pay more than $20 for the lot with these low-grade books, and it's always nice to check some more DCs off the checklist, and at some point I'll get to read this, and I'm very excited that there's a bonus Vietnam story that I didn't realize I was getting, so that's another one for this Vietnam video that at some point I promise I'm actually going to do. So that's it for today. I've got at least one more package on the way, so we'll see if it comes tomorrow, and whenever it does come, we'll record the next part. So see what comes in the mail. Back another day. I've actually got 3 packages in today. I know what one of them is, and I have some ideas on the other, but I'm not entirely sure, so we're gonna open it up. I really like this kind of packaging. It's got a little thing inside for the comics. These always seem to be pretty good. So we're going to start with this one. Alright, I finally got them open, and it is Patsy and Hetty, Career Girls, 110 and 108. I got a really good deal on these. They were listed as both very fine, which they aren't. The pictures weren't great, so I couldn't really tell. but they are pretty nice. This one to me looks like a 5.5 maybe. I did already have a copy of 110, but the one that I currently have, the spine is completely split, so it's only like a 1.0. It was very crusty, a lot of tanning. The 108 actually is pretty nice. It's got a ding on the bag that I think actually carries through to the book, which is frustrating, and it's not from me. So this was not handled properly. Yeah. Still, I mean, it does affect things a little bit because it's a it's a mark on the cover. But it's quite nice. Looks like it might be a little bit of tanning on the bottom edge. This looks to me like a 7 without looking at the back cover. But you can see here, see that ding? That actually goes through the bag into the cover a little bit. So someone obviously at some point mishandled that. But I got a really good deal on this. I've been paying like $10-12 each for issues of Patsy and Hetty in much lower grade. This I think was $14 after shipping for both of them, and so I'm very happy with this purchase. Big upgrade for me on the 110. Nice to get the 108. 110's the last issue. It also has a picture of Elvis on the cover, so that's cool. Okay, next book up, wrapped in one of my favorite little comic burritos. It's Just Married, number 104. I'm not going to talk too much about this one because I've showed this in several videos, because this is actually the 8th copy that I own now, and I've gotten like 4 of those during the quarantine. This copy is severely miscut. If you look at the top edge, I don't know if you can see the difference between the board and the backing, but it's like a good quarter of an inch or more. And so it's also the same on the side. Really badly miscut. It's not the only copy I have that's miscut. One benefit of actually having multiple copies is I've discovered that the strike varies. So I have copies where the image is very clear, and I have copies where it gets progressively blurrier. I'm guessing that as the print run went along, there was some sort of shifting going on with the plates or something. That's just a guess, but it makes finding a true, high grade copy almost impossible. I do know a guy that has a couple, or one. I think he sold off his under copy, but who has like a CGC 9.2. But so far, no luck for me on that one. And then finally, we got 3 comics in this package. So let's take a look here. It's Just Married. Don't know what the issue number is because it's not on the cover. It says still 10 cents, so this is probably 61. This suffers from what a lot of Charltons and Sarah suffer from, is all the text about some stupid contest. A little more interesting here, it's Intimate number 2. The composition's cool. The actual drawing is a little crude. The whole thing is a little basic, but you can see these people are making out, and then on the top of the stairs is this guy who's like the phantom stranger or something watching them. I'm assuming he's a husband or a lawyer. Maybe he's just a guy that's just like trying to use the stairs and they're in the way. I'm not really sure. This is an earlier 10-cent issue. I'm not really an expert yet on Charlton, but from the font and stuff, my guess is this is 57, maybe even 56. But here's the real reason I bought this lot. Very excited about this one. I think this is from 61. It's a romantic story. Again, not sure the number because it's not on the cover. Check out this great cover. Let me get a little more light on this here. Check out this great cover. I love this because one thing that Charlton covers sometimes do, as opposed to like DC or even Atlas covers, is that they're sexy. Like the DC covers, there's a lot of angst, and the Alice covers, there's some romance, there's kissing and stuff. But this is like a legitimately like sexy cover. The guy's home from work or whatever, and the wife's like, "Stop reading your paper. It's go time." And it's just an intimate moment. The other one says intimate, but that's just two weirdos kissing in a stairwell. This is an actual intimate moment. So for me, I find this cover to be very sexy. It's also very, with the furniture, like the mid-century modern designs, it's very of its time. 61, so maybe even 60, I'm not sure. December, whichever year, it doesn't matter. So I'm really excited to get this one. I bought this a lot. It wasn't too much. I think I paid 25 or something for the whole lot. Maybe a little bit more. And this one in particular, I'm really stoked to get. So that's it for this time. Thanks very much for watching. I really appreciate it. I was really excited with this batch of comics, and also I finally figured out where that blood must have come from on the bag with the Temple of Doom comics. I'm assuming that Mola Ram must have ripped someone's heart out and they just gushed all over the bag. So in that sense, it's kind of a cool, thematic element to the packaging, which I appreciate. So thank you to Mola Ram and the other thuggies who apparently packed those comics for me. In my next video, I'm really excited because I got a couple things going on. Next video is a very special haul video. In my next haul video, I'll be showing off a really cool batch of comics that I got from Kyle. Thank you very much, Kyle. We did a trade, and there's all sorts of cool stuff in that package from Kyle, including a bunch of cool free things that he threw in that I'm really excited about. But also, next episode, we're going to be starting a quest. Yes, that's right, there's a comic book quest beginning in the next episode, so I'm really excited to bring you the beginning of the quest, where the quest ends. I don't know, I guess we'll find out sometime in the future. But so that's next time. So make sure you keep your eye out for a haul video number 8, the start of the quest. And I'm looking forward to showing you that. If you like this, feel free to leave comments. We've got a subscribe thing here, some more videos, and I'll see you next time.